Hi, welcome to watch old videos that Matt made together with me. I'll be your host, guy who talks about old videos that Matt made when he started his channel. Okay, let's get started. This first video is fun because when I started out, I didn't know how to find copyright-free music. So I basically thought I had to make my own song for every video. And so I would put multiple tracks of just me banging on the guitar. So this first video, I'm actually more proud of the music than the footage, but whatever. You'll hear in the beginning, it's me slapping the side of the guitar to make the drum beat, and then me playing a bass line on the guitar, and then me playing two more guitars on top of that. So, and then me kind of yelling in the background, hey, and stuff like that. So it's kind of funny, but that's how it started out 2.5 years ago. Let's watch. Hit me! This next video is again me playing like 3 guitars and attempting to sing some goofy bass line or something, and a really terrible attempt at stop motion animation of some weird sort. Back then, I didn't plan on this being a teaching channel as much as just crazy random videos to help me promote art and just basically make it like commercials for people to buy the stuff I make. So they're kind of random and weird and kind of fun, I thought. Let's watch. Here's yet another example of the same thing. This next one is yet another one where I added like 4 guitars on top of each other and banged on the guitar for the drum beat. I think this is probably one of the most polished of those early song recordings that I made with this simple program. I started to get a little more into the bass line, sounds a little more interesting, and it's a little smoother. After that, the software started acting really weird on me, and I just stopped recording for a while and started using just other people's copyright-free music. But whatever. So this is a fun one. You're probably just going to be watching me making this stuff or whatever, but I'm sitting there just listening to the music because I think that's the better part of the video. Here goes. So one day I was really frustrated with the guitar recording software geeking out, not working. So I just went down in the basement of the house I was renting a room in. It was like 2 a.m, so the basement was the only place where I wouldn't wake anyone up. And I just turned on my recording from my phone and just started stomping around the basement and making weird vocal noises and kind of, I guess, a lesser musician would call it scatting, like they used to do in jazz clubs. Well, I thought that's what I was doing. But anyway, I played it back. It sounded pretty awful. So then I sped it up to like 2.5 times as fast. And then it sounded really awful, but fast. So I threw it in the next video. I love these little teardrop stones. Barely the size of a dime. Let's wrap them in some silver. $20 silver, about a foot. Bring it to the middle. Crimp it. Pull it tight. Bring the ends together. Crimp it back. Pick a size. Tuck the sharp ends in. Make sure they don't scratch. Readjust this side. Recenter it. You're good. E6000. The next video is just a masterpiece. Nothing else can or needs to be said. Hit me! And then came the psychological self-help videos because I just wanted to tell you guys what you should do. Stop doing what you do and do what I tell you to do. It's fun.
Embrace the harshness of life or it'll destroy you. Every day we have little surrenders, little soft spots, little things that we want to just give ourselves, take an extra breath, give ourselves that little extra treat. Oh, that looks good. Rest just a tiny bit more. And those things add up to give us the opposite of our dreams. There's so much we want to do in a day. There's so much we want to accomplish, and the day is so short. It's painfully, terribly short. And when we give ourselves those little surrenders throughout the day, they add up. This one little one won't hurt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 won't hurt. But what it does, it develops a pattern, a habit of little surrenders, giving ourselves the little soft, nice things in life. There's a proverb that says, "He who loves wine and oil will never be rich." What I take from that is he who likes the luxuries, the soft luxuries, not the expensive luxuries, not the fancy house or the fancy car. Those are actually not the things that destroy the man or society. It's the little surrenders. Sleeping in just an extra 20, 30 minutes, even if you can afford to, even if you're not going to be late for anything. Just, you could get up now and do that thing you've been needing to do every morning, work out or something, but it hurts. In fact, waking up hurts way more than working out. That extra little surrender. Paul says, "I beat my body and make it my slave." Did he physically whip himself? No. He takes every chance to beat his body into shape, the discipline, the exercise. But not even that. They didn't exercise back then like the way we think of it now. Every task that his soul wants done, but his body says, "Oh, this is going to hurt." He angrily takes his body by the scruff of the neck and he says, "Oh yeah, we'll make you do twice as much. You think this is going to hurt? We'll make it hurt twice as bad. You think it's going to hurt to do it this hard or this fast? We'll do it twice as hard and twice as fast until you stop complaining and understand that anything that Paul's soul wants, Paul's body is going to do." And there's an incredible, incredible deliciousness at the end of that. You think giving in to the little surrender is going to be sweet. And it is sweet. It goes down sweet, but in the stomach it tastes bitter and horrible and nauseous. The real sweetness is when you don't give in. When you don't give in, it's that eye of the tiger syndrome. You don't give in to the little surrenders of life. You force yourself to do what's painfully hard. And immediately, not even a day later, not 2 days, although that comes too, but in the first 5 minutes, you realize it's not that hard. You can do it. And in 10 minutes later, there's a delicious sense of accomplishment. It feels like nothing else. It really feels like nothing else. You can't get this any other way. It doesn't taste like food. It doesn't taste like any other of the simple pleasures that you can just hand yourself. There's something about it where suddenly your gut changes and you say to yourself, "You know what? That was the hardest thing. That's the thing I've been running for days or weeks or months, years. If I can beat that, what the hell else can I beat? I can beat anything. I can beat the 10 other things scaring me, and those 10 things are the only things stopping me from building that house, from learning to take apart a car, from signing up for that class I was terrified of, from making that move that I've been dying to make, from accomplishing those 10 things when I thought I only had time for 2. There's this feeling of standing up on top of a mountain suddenly when you felt at the bottom of the hill, covered by rocks, unable to move, paralyzed. The little surrenders will paralyze you, they'll frustrate you, they'll torture you, and you'll be ruined. Dramatic? No. That's what it is. Don't give in to the little surrenders. Give yourself the deliciousness of knowing that you can beat the hell out of anything because you're better than that, and the world needs you to be. Your family needs you to be. Your friends need you to be. You need you to be.
How to make steampunk jewelry. First, smash a bunch of watches and clocks to get the gears out. Try to remove as many of the nuts, bolts, and washers from your appliances as you can because they have extras and you don't really need them all. In steampunk, people use a lot of pipes. So go into your basement and see if you can cut out as many pipes. The more pipes you get, the more steampunk you are. So steampunk. Steampunk scarf. You're gonna need steam. And you gotta be a punk. Hey, what you looking at my girl for? I don't care if she's not my girl. What you looking at her for? Hey, why you touching my car, man? Okay, so I don't care whose car it is. Why you touching that car? You shouldn't be touching that car, man. I'll whoop your, I'll come down there right now and whoop. Okay, no, okay, it's all right. And jump rings of various colors, shapes, and sizes. To make jump rings, you're gonna need to dig into the mountain, get some ore of different metals, and you're gonna have to learn how to smelt it and shape it and form it into long, stretched out wire, and then coil it, cut it. Might take you 20 or 30 years, but after you do that, you can continue to the rest of this video. You should probably pause it until then. Or you could just buy everything. Now that we have all our materials, let's begin. So there's a few things you want to think about. One is balance. 2 is how do you want these pieces to hang. 3 is weight. You don't want to go too heavy. It's good to kind of line it up first. You also want to be careful, even if your earring isn't too heavy, if it's really long and a little bit heavy, the swing it could have on an ear can add to the feeling of heaviness, and you don't want people to be uncomfortable or have their ear get sore. And then what size jump rings do you want? How far apart do you want them to be? They can be close, they could overlap even. You can have multiple pieces. So set yourself up, play around with your pieces, really think about how you want it to be, and then start putting them together, only to quickly discover they never quite hang the way you thought they would. But that's part of the journey. You're going to be opening and closing a lot of jump rings, so prepare yourself. Also think about when you put a jump ring on, if I were to add this jump ring to these two, it would be right like that, and they would face the same way. However, if I added 2 jump rings, that would turn one of the pieces a quarter turn that way. If I added 3 jump rings, it would turn it back. But then it would be very far apart and have a lot more dangle to it. So you got to decide how you want to do this. Sometimes some jump rings will make it too tight. It won't hang loosely. It'll kind of like get stuck or kind of even wonky, or as it's swinging around, it'll get stuck up on top of another piece. You don't want that. So these are all things to think about. I'm just going to make a few here. Really not much explanation after that. It's basically opening and closing jump rings. Remember, jump rings always open and close like this, like a door. You never open or close any loop in jewelry, jump ring or otherwise, like this, because then you will warp it and you'll ruin the shape of the perfect circle or the perfect loop that it's in. So every jump ring you always have, you can use 2 pair of pliers if you need. I'm going to do 1 pair with my fingernail, but basically always open it sideways. and close it sideways. And when you close it, give it a little wiggle, kind of push it together, and then make sure that the two ends line up as closely as you can so there's almost no scratch. And if you do it really well, you almost lose the part where you can actually see the separation. It'll just look like one complete ring. So let's put some of these together now. Also, don't worry about color. You can use different colors of metal. It actually makes it look cool. If you want all the same metal color, then go for it if you have all the pieces that match, but I like to mix and match different colors. So these are going to be mostly different silvers. This is actually something I found at the hardware store. I'm not sure what it does. I think it's some kind of sprocket for intergalactic space travel. You know, I'm pretty much sure that's what it is. I'm just going to say that's what it is. Your earring hook will often have a very tiny loop, and it may not fit in your top piece, which would be nice if it just fit right in. Don't try to squeeze it and force it, because then you have a piece that might get stuck and won't dangle, or you might just break it. Instead, try adding 2 little jump rings. Why not 1 jump ring? Well, if you had 1 jump ring, it's going to turn sideways, and then your entire piece sticking out of someone's ear is going to look like that, instead of like that where you see the whole front of it. So I have seen people, they'll take this loop right like this and they'll actually turn it a quarter turn to make up for that. So then you only need 1 jump ring. Be careful, because again, these, depending what they're made of, these earring hook pieces break pretty easily if you bend them too much. They're definitely not copper or some other kind of base metal. There you go. So I added a medium-sized jump ring, a small jump ring, and then the earring hook. And that way, when all is said and done, this piece will hang about like that. Like that. Of course, it's going to spin all around, which is also fun. Here's our next setup, and these 3 I'm going to treat like as if they're beads. So the same way we would put 3 beads together. We're going to get some 18 gauge wire. This is silver plated copper. And let's do one end at a time. Bend a right angle, make a loop. You want to make the loop kind of big so that you make sure that it's going to go through. It's going to hold but not go all the way through. Alright, so that's good. And now we're going to bend the other one to a right angle against that. I took way too much, so I'm going to cut it off. And then with our round nose pliers, roll, reposition, roll, roll. I'm going to try to make a big loop. And we want it to go right in there. And you play around with it, but you should get it right like that so they don't move up and down. They're pretty solid. And then we could just do jump ring, and we're good for that one. I'll do this one more time. Put them on. Make a right angle. It doesn't have to be against them right just yet. There's our right angle. Grab it. How big you want the loop to be depends on how far down on the loop making pliers you go, or the round nose. And then roll, reposition, roll. Reposition, roll. You want to keep repositioning so that you get so you're using good body mechanics, not putting too much pressure on your wrist in an awkward way. And then push these tight against that. Tight. Make this next right angle against the beads to hold them as tight as you can. Cut off just as much as you need for the loop. Again, you're going to make mistakes in the beginning. You might have to redo it, or you might have to cut it a few times. And then grab it on the end, roll, roll, roll. Might have to pull it back out, reposition, roll. And you want to get it tight so they're not sliding up and down. All right. I did these 2 different ways to show you the variety that you can do, all the different options you have. And this one, this antique brass one is overlapping. It's kind of cool. and then the antique copper one is overlapping right there. And this one, I have the overlap here, but here I left this open and I hung the antique copper up higher. So of course this wouldn't make a set. You'd have to decide which way you like better. Do you like it more open here? Do you like a double overlap? But you can have a lot of fun with this, is the point. You can double and triple and quadruple these washers. Just make sure you don't get it too heavy for the ear. What you need to start wire wrapping for very little money. First of all, you need insanity. Then you need this. These 3 tools, all you need, get them at Walmart in a pack, 10 bucks. That's it. As of the making of this video, $10 in the Walmart craft section. And any kind of 20 gauge wire, pretty much. You don't need a spool this big, although it'll be helpful if you're making a lot of mistakes in the beginning and learning. I got this, well, for the silver, it's 40 bucks, but you could get any other copper, plain copper, antique copper, vintage bronze for 20 bucks. For this large, like, I think it's a 300-foot spool. You get this at Parawire, Paramount Wire. It's parawire.com, like parachute. They're not giving me a cut for this. They should. But you can go to Michael's, AC Moore, Joann Fabrics. Just make sure you don't get aluminum. Get any kind of copper-based wire. You could get a very small spool for like 3, 4, 5, 6 bucks. And that's it. You're ready to go. Oh, and you got to subscribe to my channel. And you're done. Oh, one more thing. Get some stones. Some kind of pretty semi-precious stones. Or whatever you want to wire wrap. I suggest stones. I suggest you start with ones with holes drilled through them. Makes it easier. You don't have to get an enormous amount. You can start with just a couple dozen. Again, look at the craft stores. Look for sales. Look for coupons. Price around. You don't have to spend a fortune for some very beautiful semi-precious stones. And then when you find what you really like, shop some more. Try to get even better deals. I got a lot of flack for this next video. People were complaining in the comments, threatening to unsubscribe. Probably some people did. Some said they couldn't watch the rest of the video. Some of them thought that I really injured deer and took photos of it after I did the carnage. But this was just me making some deer antler necklaces. And after explaining that no deers had to be hurt, I thought, well, that sounds too wimpy and weak. So I put a bunch of photos of roadkill in there just to mess with people. Messing with people. That was more fun than being popular back then. I didn't care about views. I didn't care about algorithms or anything. I just wanted to have fun and make weird videos. So that's what I did. And now you guys get to watch it. So cover your eyes if some of these next parts disturb you. I'm so scared. Deer antler jewelry. No deer were harmed in the making of this video. Deer actually shed their antlers. So as we believe, these were probably shed. Hit me! And the messing with gullible people just never seemed to end. I got some kind of depraved kick out of upsetting people so much that they didn't want to finish watching the video. I know there's something probably terribly wrong. I should probably seek psychological help. I'll go look up some, Google some sources and see if anybody can help. But I don't think anybody can help. Let's watch. We're here with Damien. He is one of the most amazing human beings, and as you can see, he brought 3 friends with him. Do your friends have any names?
Gorda, Diablo, and Chink.
We have
I love
a
it.
bit of a disconnect here on the
No, I held him up.
Either you remove them from the
We're on our
property,
way out.
or the police are going to come. We're
on
not
our way
stopping
out.
for pictures. We're not hanging out.
We're on our way out.
I'm getting
Let's go.
this guy in trouble. Well, there you have it. The iguana apocalypse was averted. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all safe. You may all return to your homes without fear that any iguana will ever try to take over your world. And I think we can all sleep a little more peacefully tonight. I just want to sing the traditional farewell song to the iguana. Bear with me. The moment of silence, please. It goes something like this. Iguana bye-bye. Iguana bye-bye. Iguana bye-bye. Bye, bye, bye. I don't have the traditional accompaniment to go with it, but you just got to picture a bunch of tails rattling, and it's like it's like a medley of beautiful sound as it like swells your heart as you watch the iguanas go off into the sunset. This has been an educational moment for all of us, and I feel like if you tune in more, we're gonna have a lot more learning between you, me, and the iguana universe. In honor of Iguana Day, we're gonna make an iguana pendant. So let's sketch this out first. See how we're gonna do this. Something like that. I don't know. So I'm always telling you guys, just dive in. Just make art. Don't try to overthink it or overjudge it. So here I go. I've never made an iguana pendant. I haven't even made any kind of lizard pendant ever. This is 18 gauge. I mark it 18 because I don't like to read that fine print. It gets rubbed off anyway. Let's see. Let's take, just to be on the safe side, let's take about 3 feet. We have our incredible iguana drawing. So art doesn't get much better than that, folks. Let's start with the head. I've seen a lot of iguana snouts in my day, and they're all roughly, there you go, there's an iguana head. Biggest advice I can give you about making an iguana pendant is do not make an iguana pendant. Because just those little toes alone will take you way too long, and it's not worth your time. I'm gonna make a fat iguana, because I believe everything in America is overfed these days, especially iguanas. I'm just gonna stop talking so I can speed this up, because you guys don't want to watch me make iguana toes for the next hour. Okay, this iguana is turning into a real mess. I think what we have here is some jade, rose quartz, and amethyst. And then we have what kind of look like 2 light red coral pieces for the eyes. This is going to be a horrible pendant. Do not try this at home. Alright, so this is 26 gauge silver. It'll take about a foot. I don't know, maybe not a foot, maybe 10 inches. And I'm going to start right in the middle. Again, you can really do whatever you want. You could pretty much just let this video play so I get credit and not watch it because I'm just making this up as I go. Just gonna put it right there. And we'll anchor it around his foot. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing around with these toes. Oh yeah. This is maximum iguana edge. Iguana is now an adjective. Iguana edge. There we go. So I'm just anchoring this wire wherever it comes naturally and then just kind of crisscrossing it around. And that seems to be working so far. Just threading it around in and out. So what I'm basically doing here is just wrapping it around and around wherever it fits. If I can fit it in a corner, then I just move on. I wrap it once, move on to the next thing. If I come to a part where the wire is not a corner and it could slide up and down, then I wrap it a few times around to try to anchor it better before I move on to my next part that I'm gonna wrap it to. But as you can see, there's no wrong or right. There's just total chaos and destruction and insanity, which is pretty much how everything goes these days. And I finish it off with a curly cue. Just grab it like that, turn it around, pinch it, and then turn it sideways and roll. I don't even know if the camera's focusing anymore. I've pretty much given up hope in everything endeavoring with this situation. I like that for a grammatical sentence. Roll your spiral and fold it over. We'll just glue that right there later. Let's pretty much wrap up the rest of him. I ended up having to use 2 pieces of wire, each one about 1 foot long. That's with this 26 gauge, it's very thin stuff. But, you know, there's no right or wrong. Try to get everything in 1 piece of wire if you can. But there's nothing wrong with having 20 pieces. It's just whatever works for you. It's my last curly cue folded over. And I think we're done with this awful monstrosity. Yes. It's kind of like the iguana mummy. Oh. I think the moral of the story is never try to make an iguana pendant. Ever. To make a ladybug ring, first of all you gotta catch a ladybug, or 2 or 3 is probably better in case one doesn't work out. Get some molten glass and inject it directly into their system. Best is to hold their little mouth open, pour it directly down their throat. This is best to do while they're still alive. They might kick or struggle a little bit, but you gotta hold that ladybug firm and get that molten glass in there. Eventually it'll fill up its system, and depending on what color glass you pick, that'll turn out to be your ladybug bead. And then you take a nice drill it straight through the ladybug. The ladybug's probably not alive at that point, so don't worry about it feeling bad. And then you can get some 20 gauge silver and you can make yourself a ladybug ring. About 1 foot. Pick your ladybug, put it through to the middle. Once you get there, give it a good crimp. So we're gonna come around like this. We're gonna bring the strands together, just wrap around his belly like that. And then we're gonna crimp it out like this. Get a good stepped ring mandrel from Joann Fabrics. Remember, your average lady is about 6 or 7, but you can make it any size you want. I'm gonna wrap it around the mandrel like this. I'm gonna go around twice. Give it a little extra firmness. That way I kind of get this pattern like this. And we're going to come all the way around that. And last but not least, we're going to make our Ladybug antennae. I'll clip this right here. Then I'm just going to turn this back and then pinch it. And then turn it sideways and roll it. That's going to be my Ladybug antennae. And a little bit of E6000 to finish it off. Put a nice generous amount. Just enough that's not going to squish through to the other side, and then rub it. Then came the Melvin series.
This is Melvin the spider. This is Melvin using a lighter. This is Melvin being a biter. This is Melvin drinking cider. This is Melvin declining a fighter. This is Melvin wearing vests tighter. This is Melvin using a miter. Melvin the spider rides a hang glider. Eats so much he gets wider. Throws in a slider. Such a careful driver. He's a slow rider in his car. Melvin, you know, you're gonna go far. Melvin the arachnid likes to do backflips. He can do rad kicks. He can do mad tricks. Likes to watch Netflix and chill. Melvin's gonna always pay the bill. 'Cause he's ill. Not ill. He's the real deal.
And then I decided to play around with the Ladybug beads some more because I was bored. Am I allowed back here?
I guess. No.
We're talking to this is Melissa over here.
No. It's Melissa with a B as
Mo-
in boy.
Melissa.
Melissa. Right.
Melissa is beautiful today, and she is here, believe it or not, this is Bahali, and we are just very happy to be here in this beautiful bidet.
Bidet. Like.
We're wrapping this rectangular cut mother of pearl piece. It's almost got like a tiger's eye colors to it, and it's drilled straight through, which is my favorite type because it's super easy. When you have a stone drilled straight through, it's already anchored. Anyway, we're going to take about 3 feet of antique brass 20 gauge from Parawire. Again, they're still not giving me a cut. Somebody complained to them. So thin it barely goes through. Almost got to wiggle it. These are also mother of pearl. This is olive green, and then we have more of the tiger's eye color. Then I got really big into important scientific theories. Definite proof that the Earth is flat. Now this right here, this is not the real Earth, even though it's labeled the Earth. But as you can see, it's pretty close to scale of the exact Earth. And this is scientific proof to undo all other scientific proofs that the Earth is flat. And that way, you'll never have to be led astray by all those round Earth people. The Earth, watch, flat. Look, I'll do it again, ready? Now, why don't we fall off of the Earth? Watch this. You stand on the Earth. Look at this. Stand on the Earth. I didn't fall off. That was close. I would have disproved it. But here I am. I didn't fall off. I'm stepping off on purpose. That doesn't prove anything. So now we know that the Earth is flat. If the Earth was round, like this, you would not be able to stand on it. We would all fall off. And that, where'd my round Earth go? It's not even here. More proof that it doesn't exist.
Luna's got it.
Corgis don't really exist either. This is still here because this is where we live, and it's flat. Then I tried some non-jewelry videos. I think this painting is still here if someone wants to buy it. I don't think I sold it. I'll put it up on Etsy for you guys. This is our second spray paint art video. We're going to do something real simple. Just get yourself a nice canvas. And there's all kinds of complex layers you can do with spray paint art. And you put the paint on and you peel it off. And you put another layer and peel it off. And you put stencils and you do this and this crazy stuff. But this is for beginners. It's real simple. What do you like in life? What are you into? I like coffee. I like nature, plants, flowers. I like music. I think I'll do a flower, so just have some fun with this. Get yourself a nice, simple X-Acto knife. Let's cut this puppy out. Extra canvases for the backdrops. I don't really care about this table, as you can see, but you're gonna have extra spray paint. Why not use it? Start decorating your next two pieces. Again, don't do this at home. You should wear a mask. You should wear gloves. I might not live through the rest of the year the way I'm inhaling these fumes, so please pass these videos on. Tacky stuff that you get at the drugstore to hang paintings. Comes in like a sheet. It's all gummy. Just put little bits down here. As you can see, these stencils already have some paint on them. They're from the last video. So now we got our warm colors with some stencils going on. We cut a couple layers and layers. Gave it about 10 minutes to dry. I'm just gonna put these tiny little bits of this tacky stuff in key places so it won't pop up and the spray paint won't get underneath it. So now we have the stencils back, different patterns. We're gonna go with the cooler colors now, the blues and the purples. Now, not only do we have this, but we have these two, which are the beginning of something very cool. Let's throw this puppy up and sign it. Spray paint wallets. We are going to take these real leather wallets that we got. These are the zipper kind. I don't like the zipper kind, but got to do the video, got to get it over. So whatever. I'm going to spray these wallets, canvas. Spray the wallets on canvas. Knock out two pieces of art at the same time. Stick these wallets down any which way. Stay, freaking wallets. Who gets zipper wallets? Who makes these? Why would they make them? Why do they even exist anymore? Anyway, I happen to order them, so somebody's going to buy them now because they better. So here we go. Hit me! Do not do this at home without proper ventilation and much more of a backdrop. This is the incorrect way to do this. I'm showing you so that when I get sick, you will know why not to do it this way. Now we take these wallets and we take a wood burner. This is basically a modified soldering iron with a chisel tip, and you can get these anywhere from like $8 to $25. They're all about the same. You can get more advanced ones, you don't need to. Turn this puppy on, leave it on for about 10 minutes. It usually comes with a stand. Make sure you put it on the stand. Most important thing, safety. There are people who burn their houses down with this. This entire section is as hot as a lit cigarette, so don't touch it past here. I burned myself a couple times. It's a rite of passage. Don't do it on purpose. Now these are made for wood, but what you find is they burn a lot of other things, including leather, really well.
You can make art out of anything. Popsicle sticks, bottle caps, coffee stirrers. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Could I get like 200 or 300 coffee stirrers?
I can give you that you can buy from coffee.
I have to buy coffee to get the stirrers?
Yeah.
Alright, give me a small coffee. This would be awesome. Everyday objects.
What's it?
And can I get 200 or 300 coffee stirrers?
I can't give you more than
Two per cup?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's policy, I'm sorry.
Okay, alright. Alright, I need another coffee. Thank you so much. There goes. Oh. Yeah, another coffee, please.
Sure. I'll tell you that.
Please. I have another coffee. I think we're good. Can I get another coffee?
one specific pattern, so it kind of follows its own pattern. It's just like life, and never knowing where it's going to lead and being chaotic, but always having a destination at the end of it.
Tiny swirls make the world unfurl. Little tiny swirls for every guy and girl. Little tiny swirls on your jewelry. Little tiny swirls on your jewelry. Little tiny swirls make the world unfurl. Little tiny swirls for every guy and girl. Little tiny swirls on your jewelry. Little tiny swirls on your jewelry. Swirls make the world unfurl. Little tiny swirls for every guy and girl. Little tiny swirls on your dilly dilly. Little tiny swirls on your jewelry. Little tiny swirls make the world unfurl. Little tiny swirls for every guy and girl. Little tiny swirls on your dilly dilly. Little tiny swirls on your jewelry. Boom ba da ba da da da. Boom ba da bum bum. Boom ba da ba da ba da ba da ba ba. Boom da 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 da. Boom da da da. Boom ba da 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 do do do. Boom ba da ba da ba da boom. Dum ba da 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 dum ba da do dum da 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 dum ba da do 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 do. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. Don't waste your time trying to make your art sick, man. Nobody cares if it's super cool, slick, man. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. Don't waste your time trying to make your art sick, man. Nobody cares if it's super cool, slick, man. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. Don't waste your time trying to make your art sick, man. Nobody cares if it's super cool, slick, man. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. Yeah. Stuck in the straw stick, man. Don't waste your time trying to make your art sick, man. Nobody cares if it's super cool, slick, man. When you get stuck in the slump, draw a stick, man. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. Don't waste your time trying to make your art sick, man. Nobody cares if it's super cool, slick, man. When you get stuck in a slump, draw a stick, man. Ba ba da ba ba da 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 ba. Down on the ground, why don't you doodle? Pretty soon you can be looking just like a poodle. But even if it only looks like oodles of noodles, When the world is being brutal, when your life feels like a strudel, grab a pen, draw some stick men. Pretty soon you've got some friends, and before you reach the end, you'll find happiness start to blend into your doodle. When you're feeling down on the ground, why don't you doodle? Pretty soon you can be looking just like a poodle. But even if it only looks like oodles of noodles, when the world is being brutal, when your life feels like a strudel, grab a pen, draw some stick men. Pretty soon you've got some friends, and before you reach the end, you find happiness start to blend. Why don't you doodle?
Thus concludes the very first viewing of old videos that Matt made. Thank you for watching, everybody, and hanging out with us. If you found this time enjoyable, maybe in a week or 2 or 3 or 4 or something, we'll do this again with some more old videos that we'll watch together of Matt's. There's more of them. If you would like to watch some of Matt's old videos, like the ones you just saw, or some others, it's very simple. First, go to Matt's channel, not just the video you're watching, but find where it says Matt's Crazy Art in the corner and click on the actual name. That'll send you to the home page. Once you're on the home page, look up in the top left, depending on your device, and find the tab that says Videos. Click on that. Boop! You should see a little drop-down arrow, a little triangle. Make the menu drop down and pick oldest to newest. It usually has it listed as newest to oldest or most popular. Pick oldest to newest, and then you can start the very beginning and see all of the early terrifying masterpiece monstrosities. But until then, you guys have a wonderful evening, day, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. And hopefully we'll get to hang out again soon. Take care.